Are you an introvert struggling to become a better communicator, to get out of your shell? Or perhaps you have an introvert in your team and you want them to be able to speak with customers, give presentations. In this episode, I will share three pieces of advice for you as an introvert and three pieces of advice to make your introvert team member become a better communicator. Let's listen. Hi, and welcome to the Hardcore Soft Skills Podcast. This is Yari Caro, and I'm an organizational psychology practitioner and coach for tech and project teams. And in each episode, you will learn new skills with expert help. Today, I will address a question I received from a team manager who was wondering how to get one of their team members to become a better communicator. Let me tell you, first of all, I am an introvert. Growing up, I was always the quietest person in the room. I was that friend who would only laugh at jokes. And when it got asked to speak up about a story of mine, or God forbid, ask a question to a big group, I would freeze. In the classroom, though, I would like to speak up because it was centered on the task at hand. If a teacher asked a question and I knew the answer, I would raise my hand and speak. What changed significantly for me from being an introvert to become more outspoken was doing a career in journalism. And when I started working at a newspaper where I had to reach out to strangers and ask questions without being given permission to ask because I needed them for my story. And if I did not have a story, I will not have a job. So here comes my first piece of advice to you if you are an introvert at work. Number one, think about the goals. What is it that you need to achieve on a day to day basis? Do you need feedback from a customer? Are you trying to work on a deliverable for a team member? As introverts, we have to work hard to be social butterflies. But what makes it easier is knowing I need to achieve X. And if I don't speak up with this person, or ask a question in this meeting, or give the presentation I need to do, my job will not get done. The mission at hand will not be complete. Okay, so number two, think about very small interactions to practice each day and asking questions. So, for example, when I would go into a room, I would just say, "Good morning. How are you doing?" to the group. That's it. Then the conversation will magically open up. I did not have to come up with a story about my weekend. People will ask me a question, I will answer, and then I will be the one asking the questions. This fooled many into thinking I was an extrovert because I opened up the conversation. Research shows that asking questions makes you more likable and perceived as a responsible, reliable person. So as you come into a room or ask, "How you doing?" expect response and keep asking questions. Number three, practice. Just practice. Got a big presentation? Focus on the message to get comfortable and not be reading from slides. Practice interactions with potential customers. Find scripts online even to get you practicing out loud. For any of us, both introverts and extroverts, practice is what makes us better communicators, regardless of our personalities. Now, if you are a manager who is eager to help your team member get out of their shell, here's some advice. Okay, so number one, first, do not make it a thing. Let me explain. Do not point out and say, "Oh, you're always so quiet, speak up," or "Here's the quiet one in the room." As the recipient of many of those phrases growing up, where people would say, "Why are you so shy?" I will go deeper and deeper into my shell. As I entered college, where I met people who did not know me as the quiet one, I became more comfortable. A lot of people who act introverted or shy may have social anxiety disorder, which could actually severely affect someone to have interactions. So be conscious and don't make shyness or introversion a thing you need to remind them to just snap out of. Number two, instead be clear on expectations of the role and get feedback. If you wish your team member was just more social, that is not enough. You need to specify what are the specific responsibilities, and deliverables of what success looks like. So, for example, if they are expected to collaborate with others, specify and give examples of what it looks like. Is it doing peer reviews? Is it co creating something with a colleague? And if they need to engage with customers, provide some metrics about outreach. As part of this, please also specify preferred communication methods. If that person prefers chat or sending emails all day and not speaking, let them know if it's not okay. Also, specify if calls are preferred, for example. Get with the whole team to review communication preferences for everybody and make it part of your team agreement. And number three, find their strengths and provide feedback and support. Introverts make great leaders. In the business world, some of the most prominent founders and investors, like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, and many others, are self identifying introverts. While we think being a leader requires being a people person, it is the variety of strengths a person can have that makes them great, introvert or not, like listening, analytical thinking, ability to keep calm under pressure. So find the strengths of your team member, make those known to them, and then offer up any feedback on specific areas they feel they struggle with. Remember, great leaders create other leaders, not followers. Okay, so let's summarize. If you're an introvert, shy, or quiet, number one, focus on the mission at hand, regardless if it requires doing things you may not love doing. It's all about mission and doing the work. Number two, focus on the power of asking questions to others to engage. And three, practice. If you are the team leader and want to help your quiet team member, first, don't make it a being a quiet or introverted a big deal. Be clear on expectations for the role and set communication agreements for the team. And number three, provide feedback on strengths and support on areas of improvement. If you are a leader or an introvert who needs help in any of these areas, contact me via my website, hardcoresoftskillspodcast.com, and let me know your feedback as well. Thank you for listening.